environment very vividly when you talked about organic cotton and the T-shirt, and I like the image that you supplied us with. Let's plant a tree, not work for the bush. We plant a tree, and we plant a tree with many roots: social roots, because it has to benefit people; environmental roots, because it has to purify the air and the consciences of people, and ours first, and economic roots, because it is business. Grace, we are running short of time, and I'm very rough with you, but you are such a good collaborator of the ITC that I feel I can ask to you to say in 2 minutes 2 words about this business infrastructure that you have experienced, your experience with our business infrastructure, what it is, how it benefits people, and 1 word on fair labor, how we implement fair labor together.
Thank you, Simone, and thank you, participants, for coming this afternoon. When my colleagues were giving their presentations, I realized that the gap that there is in linking handcraft and tourism could just be found with us in the ethical fashion. And I just want to tell you in a few minutes why I think that actually we could be the kind of reliable trade partners in this. One that you need to understand right from the onset is that under Ethical Fashion Africa, we are working as a business infrastructure that enables production through creativity and institutionalization. And how are we doing this? We are getting communities together, and we are creating and finding synergies for these communities who are, in this case, micro-producers. And what are we mainly looking at in these communities? We are seeing a way and a focus on how we can approach customers on their behalf. When my colleague Joyce, the hotelier, talks about her skepticism towards approaching communities, we see that, yes, there is a gap. Our communities are good at what they are producing, but there is no way that they can carry forth to the actual market. And here we come in as Ethical Fashion, and we help these communities in presenting new ideas. We help them with proper packaging. And also, at the heart of it, we act as the hub to coordinate all production. Previously, we've got involved in a number of orders. Florence and Simone are talking about the recent 50,000 organic T-shirts that we worked on in Uganda and exported to Italy. But previously, we've worked on the straw bags, we've worked on the paper beads that are now trotting everywhere in the world. And at the end of the day, when we see them or we see ladies in such conferences wearing them, we pat ourselves on the back because it is our good effort. But under Ethical Fashion, we need to focus on the fact that we enhance quality production. And at Ethical Fashion, it is quality, quality, and quality. And the sister of quality, quality, and quality is time. We are dealing with local communities, so I would use the word rudimentary communities, no systems, no whatsoever. And yet these are communities that are producing for high-class designers and high-class stores in Europe. So time gets to be an issue. We are working under Ethical Fashion to see that quality and time are put together so that the customer is not disappointed about the time of delivery and not at all with the quality of production. And yes, of course, about the ethical standards. This is maybe the gist of our kind of work. And under ethical standards, we are focusing on fair labor. Of course, believe me or not, in most of the developing countries, labor is an issue. I come from a tradition where every person in a community is a worker, be it a child, be it a youth, an old person, or whatever. All of us are workers. But what is the situation like? What is the actual, what is expected as far as maybe the international labor requirements are? it is that we emphasize that it must be adult production and it is work with pay. It's not charity. We are trying to shift from that mindset of most people in the developing countries where everything is charity. And we are saying, look here, times are changing. Business is business. You work and we pay. And this is what we are emphasizing with our communities. We are getting systems to them so that they are able to know, if I work on these kind of pieces, how do I record them? How much time have I put in them? And what do I expect thereafter? And then we help them create systems of payment in their communities. As ethical fashion, we shall help create the systems in these communities, but we leave the communities to manage for themselves their own payments and also to be accountable to the sustainability of the respective projects in their communities. Lastly about environment. In ethical fashion, we are also emphasizing so much about environment, and most of the products that we have actually gotten hands on are these kind of products that are facilitating environmental conservation. We are mainly working with recycled products. We are working with paper to get beads. Therefore, recycling paper. We are recycling straw. And then we are using also offcuts from the textile industry, from the t-shirts, to make additions and decorations. What we thought that could be something that we can discard can now be put to better use, and hence we partner to develop the communities and also get a link with the potential buyers. Thank you.
Thank you. So this is the business infrastructure that is available. It's an example of business infrastructure, and this is the idea that we are developing in Uganda as requested by the Ugandan government and Ugandan stakeholders, told by Ugandans. I would open the floor for a very short round of questions, if there are questions. And I noticed a thing about Turkey. I don't know if our Turkish colleagues are still here, because Turkey is now a fashion country. All the producers I worked with when I was young in Italy are now based in Turkey of garments. So this is quite an issue. And there's a very famous designer, Silvia Owori, in Uganda, a fashion designer, a great fashion designer, who is also working in Turkey. I close here. And I give the floor back to the chairperson of the meeting, to the chair, Mrs. Puye.
Thank you very, very much. This is really exciting. I think we could have the whole week, really, for every single country or every single case because it's so rich, really, in terms of, things we can really share. But unfortunately, time does not allow us to move forward, because at 5, another team is supposed to join here, dealing with women in trade, connecting again through the whole value chain, connecting it to the tourism value chain. We really would like also, because we are in Turkey, because, as you said, it is an excellent example, but unfortunately, our guest from Turkey also was awaited in another workshop at 5, so he has to leave. But what I have finally negotiated is at least to have a copy of his presentation, which we can share with all of you, because I am sure that every one of us can take something from Turkey's example in terms of inclusive tourism and making it happen globally and locally. So on that regard, maybe we close there for Turkey, but maybe give one chance to one participant to at least give any contribution. I see Senegal there. Benin did share anything. If we have someone who can there in 1 minute share a comment or examples, I will take that risk to give you the floor. Monsieur Dia, est-ce que vous voulez prendre la parole un peu en 1 minute, si c'est possible? Sinon, we will be able to. Okay, so I will try, or Aïssatou will try to put it in English once you express yourself in French. Vous dites Is it okay, or do you want to? Because we don't have translation. On n'a pas de traduction.